Alrighty, we are live. Welcome in, everybody. Glad that you're here. Give me just one moment as I put this out. All right, we are live. Welcome in, everybody. We're going to be checking out which coins are hot right now, what's doing well. We're going to look at DLMMing some things live. We'll talk about the market as well and kind of what I'm expecting over this week. So thanks for joining if you're here. I'm going to wait just a minute as I get some stuff together here, and then we'll get started. But welcome in. Thanks for being here. All right, let's see. Make sure that my sound's working. Check, check. All right, sounds good. Good morning. Good morning. Let's farm some fees on ETH maxis tomorrow. Khalid, welcome in, man. Yeah, I mean, I think farming fees together is going to be good. I wouldn't say we're going to do it on ETH maxis, but I think that it's exciting that they are coming over. Pudgy is and deciding to launch on Solana. I think that obviously this is going to be a huge liquidity increase, similar to how Magic Eden was last week, and we saw the market do really, really well. The same thing will happen this time, not only because of the fact that there's going to be a large airdrop to a bunch of different communities, but also because of it happening on Solana. People on ETH are going to be having to move money over to Solana if they want to interact with it, right? So this is always really, really good for Solana. It's also a big deal because they decided to come to Solana, period, right? The fact that Pudgy is like, hey, we see that Solana has the most volume, most transactions. They're kind of the king of meme coins as far as, the blockchain with just the most, doing tons of volume with coins. And so they're like, this makes sense. Like it's smart for us to move over there. So it's a good sign for us for sure. Holding pool is important, or we just close the pool and move on if token dumped. Yeah, Crypto Dragon, if there's a coin that's dumping and it gets out of range or is about to be out of range of my pool, I just close it out and move on from the loss. I try to do it before it gets too bad. So that's something to think about. Like SL Hub, we were looking at. It's doing a lot of volume, but it dumped a lot, which I saw that happening, and I went ahead and got out of it because I was like, I don't want to sit in this. We're going to set up some alchemy pools though. Let's see here. Yeah, let me know if there's any coins that y'all are seeing that seem to be doing pretty well today. This agent coin, when looking at it, looks to be doing well, but honestly, I don't feel too confident in it based on the information that was provided that I could see off of Twitter and other places. You could do well on it, DLMMing, but there's just something that feels a little off about it, and so I won't be getting into that. But you can see that it is doing a lot of volume up here. This looks fake as well. Let's take a look at it though. Obviously, we're doing a giveaway. If you haven't seen that on Twitter, yeah, this looks like a rug. If you haven't already seen it, let me come over to my Twitter here. So we are doing a 10 days of Christmas giveaway. Today we are giving away $200. We're doing $100 in bonk to 2 different people. I did the giveaways last week because Magic Eden, and honestly, it felt really good. I enjoyed it, and it's Christmas time. Things are going well, and so I was like, hey, let me continue to try to give back here. I also think that it's really important to highlight projects and that have made big impacts on the space or are currently making a big impact on the space. and Bonk is one of those. And so I was like, all right, let's jump on this board of like the posting Let's Bonk stuff, because obviously they're going to burn a bunch of tokens based on that. Every time someone does hashtag Let's Bonk, they're burning 1,000 Bonk. And so like all of the people that are trying to push this, obviously it's going to make it to where on Christmas when they burn it, it's going to be massive. I think we'll see Bonk pump moving into Christmas, maybe even on Christmas, not too sure. So I have a bag of Bonk that I've bought as well. But I'll be selecting the winners live. You just have to engage with this tweet here. And if you do, and you're on live stream, then you'll win. And so we'll be doing that in just a little bit, probably in about 50 minutes to an hour. But yeah, thank y'all so much for being here. We are over 220 views already. And so we appreciate y'all being here this morning. I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday every single week. And so thanks for joining. One coin that we're going to be DLMing is ALK. This is kind of a, more of a long-term play here. You can see we set up a one-sided pool. We're already earning 8.5% here. ALK is one that I really, really like. I love their platform. I love what they're doing. They're like shipping stuff like crazy. It's also near the bottom. It could go a little bit further down, but it is near the bottom in my opinion. Everything is kind of dipped this morning with Solana. But you can see here that Solana has started to pick back up a little bit. And so it came all the way down to like 213, 214 here, and then it's starting to pick back up. We also have our Hawk5 pool here, which is around 51,000. We're doing a 50K challenge to see what it goes to. And I've learned some things about Hawk5 and rebalancing and stuff like that I'll be sharing a little bit later, some thoughts that I have and some things that I can tell you all about to help you if you're using Hawk5. And yeah, so we'll talk about that in just a little bit. ARK is also down right now. ARK's one that I posted about the other day that I really, really like. If you've been DLMMing it, you can see that this range right here has been amazing. And so it is kind of, I think, finding a bottom as well. I don't know if ALK and ARK will both continue to do well or not, but I think that they will. I moved from ARK to ALK because I'm slightly more bullish on ALK as a project. But as far as DLMMing, ARK does have slightly more volume. And so we'll have to see how they turn out, but we are watching both of those as well. And we'll keep watching. We're using Good Morning, Good Night here. And so if you want to use it, you can come check it out also. But I really like the ability to buy stuff. It's got like a buy bot. But also I just really like the charts and how it's set up. It's really clean. So let me start taking some questions here. Oof, man, y'all are out the gate firing. Lots of questions. Siva Shankar, hi bro. Share screen. Oh, holy smokes! I'm not even sharing my screen. This happens sometimes, There we go. I mean, I wasn't talking about a ton, except just like showing y'all ALK and ARK. The tweet that I was talking about. Let me get it pulled up here. This is the tweet that you have to interact with. The 10 days of Christmas Bonkmas. I thought I had this on screen, so sorry, guys. But yeah, this is the one that you need to interact with. So we have that there. And this is ALK, which you can see is here. And you can see we have a one-sided pool set up on ALK. We are in 100 bin, 8%, and we just did a spot one-sided. If it ends up dropping down, ALK, then I can create it a little bit lower or even do a little bit of a two-side. But I do feel like it's near the bottom here. And so I think we have more potential for upside. You can also see I was talking about Solana and the general state of it. And you can see that it dipped down a decent amount, but it's starting to move back up. And so I think that we'll maybe see it move back up some more today. We'll have to take a look. But I think that it'll kind of keep ranging similar to where it's been ranging. Around the 215 all the way up to like 235. I originally had posted like in our Discord that I thought that it would range between like 220 and 240. It looks to be just a little bit lower than that. It's been ranging between that 215. It even had one really low dip the other day, but around 215 to 235 looks to be where it's at right now. So yeah. What's good? $100 each giveaway. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be giving it away in Bonk as well. Right to do. Hi, bro. Good to see you again. Good to see you, man. What's good? Good morning. Good time to DLMM. Yeah, absolutely. Harlem asked, how risky is earning fees on DLMM? I would say compared to traditional finance, it's very risky. Compared to things in crypto, I would say it's actually probably less risky than just trading meme coins. And the reason why is that if you're just trading a meme coin, you have more room to earn as well. Like you can hit these like 2, 3, 5X's sometimes. Obviously, that's not always the case, but you do have the ability to hit that. Where if you DLMM, it's much harder to get like a 2 or 3X. We're looking for like 10, 20, 30, 40% gains, but we're looking to do that across maybe 30 minutes or an hour, or sometimes we can hold it longer across, you know, a day or two. But either way, we're looking at trying to like hit these big chunks through catching stuff that has lots of volume and earning fees from the swaps, and then getting out at a good high point to be able to earn overall. And so sometimes that is risky because the value of the token can go down, right? But if I buy the token and I just buy it to trade it and it goes down, I'll lose a lot more than if I DLMM it on the way down. You set up like a one-sided soul pool because you're buying it on the way down and DCAing into it instead of just buying it all at one point and then selling it lower. And so the potential returns are lower than if you were to just buy and sell it, but also the potential losses are lower if you DLMM it and it ends up going down. So I would say, and compared to normal finance, it is risky, but compared to other things in crypto, it's actually not as risky. Unisam, good morning. Hugo, what's up, man? Good morning, everybody. Looking to get insight on the best strategy for Pingu tomorrow. Jinx, we'll be talking about Pingu in just a little bit, and we'll talk about kind of strategy around what I'm thinking. Obviously, until we see it launch, we won't know for sure, but we will be watching it, and I can give you all some more info around what I'm going to be doing depending on what I see. Yeah, Mushti, like I had mentioned, ARK did drop, similar to a lot of these other coins this morning. Pretty much everything dropped. What do you usually do with a new pair that you've never dealt with and the chart is giving signals that is very likely to go up? Do you just swap into the coin and add into the pool? Yeah, if I think it's just going to go up, like if I'm just like, hey, this thing's just going to launch, it's only going to go up, then I'll just buy as much as I can of it right away, and then just you do like a one-sided pool on the way up, similar to what I did here with ALK. So I set up a one-sided spot here. And so I'm believing, it may not be the case, but I'm believing that ALK's going to mostly go up from here. And so you can watch it down here. I think it's mostly going to go up. And so I set up this pool one-sided this way. So I just bought it right where it was at, because you can see this morning, I can look at it and I can say, okay, it's down, but you can see here that it's near the bottom of some recent supports. Now, obviously it could get down lower. And if it does, then I might just reset the pool down lower. Or set up a two-sided, we'll see. But we're kind of just watching because I think it'll follow Solana. So if Solana starts to dip back down, then I'll probably just close out of the ALK, potentially sell it, and then reopen it later. But if Sol continues to move up, then we'll probably just keep holding it because ALK is most likely to continue moving up as well. Let's know how Pingu will go tomorrow. Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that. Oh, yeah, y'all talked about, we had some people in Discord talk about Kappa and that it was doing well. We'll take a look at this one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know, Nika. I only had my face earlier, but it's good now. Thanks for the giveaway. Yeah, what is happening with Croak? I've talked about it a few times on stream. We have some plans for Croak, which will be coming out soon. Obviously, it is down right now, but we're not giving up on it. We're going to continue to push it. So just know that. We'll share more whenever it comes out. Hi, mate. Can you share your views on PNet chart? Yeah, I was looking at PNet. I think it was last night. I really liked PNet. It's done well. It is kind of a lower to mid market cap, so we'll have to see what that looks like. Honestly, Kappa has lower volume than what I would like. It's also pretty far down here. I'm not too sure. I would need to look into Kappa more. Initially, I don't think that I'd want to. It does have decent volume right here. But overall, I'm not too confident in Kappa, and I would need to see more to be able to tell you. Yeah, PNet's down just like a lot of them are this morning. It also looks like it's kind of near the bottom. Could go a little lower, but might move back up here. It's a little different. So like if y'all notice, like the benefit of a lower cap coin is that you have much higher potential in earnings, right? Like as far as it going up, but also like stuff that's below like 50 mil or even, below 100 mil, whenever you look at it, like everything dropped today and PNet went from, 32 mil high all the way down to a 17.5 mil high or low. Sorry. So like it almost is like cut in half. Like not quite, but it almost like just completely cut in half. And you look at Alchemy or you look at ARK, right? Like any of these larger caps, like above above 100, which ARK looks like it's dipping pretty hard actually. But any of these that are above like 100 mil, and you can see it had a high of 140 mil, ALK did. But now it's down at 105, right? And so that's only like a 25% drop compared to PNet, which literally was cut in half. So for example, ALK would have had to have gone from 140 to 70 million to be like similar to what PNet did. And so, yeah, I do like PNet. I mean, I think it's got decent volume. It's not like anything great, honestly. The volume on it's died down a lot, especially within the last hour or so. But I think overall it's not terrible. There's a little more volume on something like ALK. There is a lot of upside on PNet, and I think the overall, like the tech and the team and stuff is pretty good. It's just even if like a tech and team is good, like I've loved teams and tech before, and it does nothing, right? Because it just doesn't build enough traction. And so we'll have to see. Right now, I wouldn't DLMM it, but it could be one to be good to get into. We'll just have to check it out later. Good morning from Morocco. I'm learning from you. Thank you so much. Hattori, thanks so much, man. Glad you're here. Do you have any thoughts on Met announcing a 5% fee to protocols in terms of using HawkFi? It would make fees on HawkFi 13. Yeah, I think 5% is really, really good. I'm glad they're starting low. They can always go up from there. And so I'm glad that they're starting around 5%. I think that makes a lot of sense. And so I don't know. We'll have to see what HawkFi does, if they reduce it or if they're going to keep it where it's at. And so I'll make my opinion based on what HawkFi says. If they end up keeping it where it's at, then I might not use it, or I might only use it for certain things. But if they end up trying to kind of cut theirs a little bit to meet in the middle, then I'll probably keep using them. So we'll have to see. How do I get HawkFi to work with Ledger on mobile? It never lets me sign in, but works on PC. Polar, I'm not too sure, but you can check out the Discord and go ask them there. Bonkmas is coming early. Yes, sir, it is. What's the feel on SL Hub? Yeah, I think it's died off a little bit. It looks like it was trying to fight back, but it's one that I'm not getting into for sure. Jay Sherlock, you're rocking it, man, killing it. Hey, thanks, appreciate it. Good morning. You previously shared on how you find tokens to DLMM. I'm wondering what signs you look for to close your position for a particular coin. Well, let's go look, because like we got into SL Hub a little bit earlier, and I was kind of, not too sure about it, but we got into it. And I'll just show you this, for example. It was pretty simple, right? And so you can see here the buy and the sell that I did here. Now, this is actually different because this is a different wallet than the one that I was DLMMing. But I did end up buying around the same price, around like the 1.2 million market cap range. And so basically what happened is I let it come up here. I started DLMMing it. It went all the way up, came down, and then I watched it for a little while. But basically what I was looking for is like, is it going to end up breaking below where I bought in at? And if so, on a coin like this, I don't really want to risk it. And so once it like came back into this range right here and it looked like it was going to keep dumping, I actually sold it. On my other wallet, though, I was a little slower and I watched it come here and then start to move up. So I was like, I'll go ahead and one-side it here because it's just below where I bought in it. And then as it moved up here, it looked like it was slowing down and was going to start coming back down. So I just went ahead and closed out and sold it again. And what happened was I saw the volume. If you look at like the 1 hour, the 5 minute, and the 1 minute volume, I saw that the volume was dropping like fairly fast. The 5 minute volume was like 600K or like 800K. I can't remember what it was. And then slowly I watched it fall. And so as it fell, that's usually on a coin that's hot, that has a lot of volume, it's picking up really fast. And once the volume starts to slow down, that can be an indicator the price is going to drop. Now, it doesn't always mean that, but it is a good indicator to watch. So as I saw that and I saw the price coming down, I said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and sell out there. Now, that's on a coin like this. When we're looking at a coin like ALK, for instance, or a higher market cap coin, mid to large cap, normally what I do is I'll set up a range. I try to get in either off of a bottom swing up like this, or I'll wait for it to start to push up and break above like a previous high, showing that it's in an upward trend, and I get in. And in those cases, I'll normally hold them for much longer, hours or even days. And in those cases, I look to get out once it's broken down below a certain point. So let's say I set up a two-sided pool. Once it goes up, it might range for a while, but once it breaks down below a certain point, which I'll know based on the range that I set up, usually it's like roughly 15 to 20% on the downside. Usually if it breaks below a certain point and I'm looking at the different supports, For instance, like this support here is really, really big on ALK. And so if I saw it drop below this support here, then I would go ahead and close it out because the next support is so far back and so much further down. And so you can see this is the lowest it's been for a while. And so if that's the case, like it means you can see all the way back to here, to where if it drops below this, it's going to end up testing down here. And then if it drops below that, it's really, really bad. It could go way, way lower. And so that's what I look for on this. So this would be like the bottom end here, but it's more likely to bounce off of ranges like this one here if it does drop below, and then we'll continue to watch it. But somewhere between here, I would look for it to bounce. But that's how I determine getting out. Could you explain the one-sided more one more time? You think a coin is going up? Would you make the pool with only SOL, or the coin you think is going up? Yeah, so when you do one-sided, you're hoping that the coin comes down, right? And so if I were to set one up here, I'm going to actually close this out here. I'm going to set up a two-sided on ALK. And then I can always come back and remove the Solana later if it looks like it's going to come back up. But we're going to set up a two-sided on ALK. But if I wanted to set up a one-side, let's say I was like, all right, ALK's going to dip. I haven't bought into the token yet. Then what I would do is I would come here. Well, let me just do it here. I would come here and I would say, all right, I have 20 SOL. I'm going to set it up in a one-sided. You can do it in like a bid ask or a spot. And if you think it's going to dip pretty heavy, you would do a bid ask. If you think it may only dip a little bit, then you can do a spot. You could also reduce the range in a little bit if you really feel confident that it's only going to dip a little bit and you're trying to enter into it. And so you can just set it up like this. You would just use Solana only. And this is if you think the token's going to dip. If you don't think it's going to dip and it's just going to move up, there's no point in doing this because you would catch it in the dip, right? And so whenever you do that, you would set it up like this. And then as it dips, you would earn fees. At some point, you can close it out and then set it upward only or set up a two-sided from there. It's up to you. But you will be able to earn fees as it's coming down, and you'll buy into the token as well. I'm going to set up let me refresh it. And then I'm going to set up a two-sided pool real quick because it does look like it's dipping a little bit, which ALK did as well. Solana's still holding strong, so I don't think it's going to dip a ton more, which is why I got in when I did. No one can time the bottom perfect, so I don't think that it's going to be perfectly timed, but we're going to set up ALK here. And then we'll look to see what else is coming up. I just want to get this set up, and then I'll answer some more questions, and we'll check out what's trending. I'm also going to check Discord, see if anybody's posting anything. Yeah, Agent's still doing really well. We were literally watching this at 1.4 mil, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not too sure about it. And now it's doing really well, but it does look like it's starting to dip, so we'll continue to watch it and see what it does. Got a few different coins that are popping off right now. Let's see. This is one that we had DLMM'd yesterday, and looks like it died down a lot, and then looks like it's moving back up. You can see the dev selling a ton, so I'm not interested in that. All right, let's see what other questions we have. We'll continue to watch this one here. First time I tried DLMMing on Cat Soul, I feel nervous. Yeah, I'm not too sure about Cat. I haven't looked at that one. Any thoughts on Mom? Mom was one we were looking at earlier, also not super confident on it. S17, welcome in, man. Hugo, gotcha, bro. I asked, and then HawkFi let me sign in on mobile. Polar. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Maybe HawkFi was listening in. They're like, let's quick patch it for Polar. So if y'all do have any questions about stuff like that, just feel free to ask them. I'm not sure that I'd be able to help, but glad that it's working for you now, Polar. Lakshmi, hey, token guy, what are the fees you were talking about in Meteora and HawkFi? Oh, yeah, so someone had asked this earlier. That's a great question. And so if you use Meteora, there's no fees right now. It's completely free to use. If you use HawkFi, they do auto compounding of fees. You can also set it up to auto rebalance, which I'll talk about this in just a little bit because I do want to go over this because I have changed some things a little bit on my strategy of what I want to do. Yeah, but HawkFi takes an 8% fee from the fees that you earn. So let's say you put $10,000 in it and you earn $100, right? And you withdraw it. Well, the $10,000, it doesn't matter if it moved up and down. That's not affected. It's only the fees. So if you earn $100 in fees, they're going to take $8 and you'll get $92 back. And so they have a fee structure for their auto compounding and auto rebalancing features that they have set up. And so somebody was asking, because Meteora was talking about charging fees, they're eventually going to charge them. Right now, they haven't, because they've been trying to have people use the platform, become more popular, and then they'll add the fees later. And so they're talking about when they do add the fees, the 5% protocol fees, will that be added on top of HawkFi? And if so, then you're looking at a 13% fee, right? And so that could become eat into your profit even more. And so basically they're asking like, hey, what do you think about that? I would hope that HawkFi would maybe adjust, because if they are going to charge, it is going to be 13% total, then I may not be able to use HawkFi. Now, some people, it may still make sense to use it because they're not as active, and the passive, what they'll be able to earn passively is much more important. But for me, I don't know if I'll be able to. So we'll have to see if HawkFi adjusts that or not. I might mention it to the team and see what they say, but that's what we were talking about. Are you still inside ARK? I am not by the dip. I got out. Obviously, anytime I talk about a token, it doesn't mean that I'm going to stay in it forever. It dipped really, really hard. Now, do I think it's going to come back up? Most likely. But you never know with tokens whether they're going to come back or not. It's doing a lot of volume right now near the bottom here. You can see, because there's a lot of people buying it thinking it's near the bottom. So that's always a good sign. It's called capitulation. Actually, capitulation's at the top, right? I can't remember, but I can't remember what the exact term is, but basically it just means that there's a bunch of people buying up here, and eventually that could cause it to skyrocket up as the sell pressure lessens and the buy pressure stays steady. So I'm not sure that that's going to happen, but it is possible. And yeah, but I mean, I still like ARK long term. I did move to ALK. ALK does a little bit less volume than ARK, but I really like ALK and the AI and the stuff they're doing in shipping. I just don't see how this doesn't do well long term. Agent, like I said, we had looked at it at like 1 mil or something like that. I didn't feel super confident on it. Obviously, we could have made money as it moved up here. It does look like it may have found a top and is moving down. The volume on it is starting to go down a little bit, but it could still do okay, and the volume could still pick back up. So we'll keep watching that one. I don't want to get into it just yet, or at all maybe. So we'll continue to watch it and see. New week, more fees. Yeah, lucky NFT, exactly. What if you spot a coin with good volume, but no pool is available yet? Do you create one? Yeah. So you can just come here. I don't know if I've talked about this a ton, but on Meteor, if you see a coin and you want to set up a pool, you would just come here. You would come to create pool. You would put in the token, whatever that token is, and you would select a fee structure for it. And then you would select, based on the fee structure, to give you a certain pool setup, you put in the price here, which is the price between the two tokens, and then you would create it. And when you create it, also just make sure that the price is correct, double check it again, and then you'll be able to have your pool. But you set it up. It does cost like $5 roughly in Solana fees to be able to create the pool that you won't get back. Unlike when you create a position and you pay a little bit of rent and then you get it back when you close the position. When you create a pool, the pool stays open forever, so you don't get that back because you can't close the pool as a whole. And so the amount of space you're taking up on the blockchain, you have to pay for until it's removed. In this case, it's not removed, so it stays there. Yeah, as you can see, Agent is dumping a lot here, kind of what I expected after seeing it, the volume die down. We'll see if it picks back up, but this is why I like to watch coins like this, especially when they look like they've made a top. We'll see where it goes from there, though. Sorry if you mentioned before, but did you mention about choosing range or market cap level? I couldn't see my pools on HawkFi, by the way. Yeah, so if you mentioned before, I apologize, but did you mention about choosing range or market cap level? Yeah, so I'll just talk about that in general, but when I'm looking at coins on here, normally if it's below 1 million market cap, I don't even give it consideration. And then if it is 1 million market cap, I need it to be doing a high amount of volume, because the risk on the token getting into it that low market cap is pretty heavy, right? Like if I put $5,000 into it and it's at 1 million market cap, and then it can very quickly, like literally within 30 seconds, go from 1 million to 500K. Well, I literally just cut it in half, right? How much my token's worth. Now, it's not quite that much if you're DLMMing it, but roughly that's how much it'll go down, right? So you have to be careful. Whereas if something's 20 mil, it would have to go all the way down to 10 mil to do the same thing. And so I try not to put too much money into low caps. I try to just keep a very small percentage of my portfolio on low caps. And then also I make sure that they're doing a lot of volume so that I'm earning a lot of fees to make up for any loss if it does dump. Obviously, the upside is pretty high as well if it goes up. I think that 5 million market cap is a pretty big barrier. There's a lot of coins now that get into the 1, 2, 3, 4 million range. Like you could see with Agent, for instance, which does look like it's pulling back. So that's a good sign. We'll see if it actually makes it all the way back up here or not. But many coins will get to the 4 or 5 million. This one literally hit just at 5 million before breaking back down. And so coins that are sitting at like 6 or 7 million that look like they're in some upward swings are ones that I'm more confident in. But usually I have a mixed strategy. And so like right now, I'm DLMMing ALK. And so I just got into it just recently and I set up a pool. And so for me, ALK is one that I feel more safe in. I don't earn as many fees. Like right now we're earning 5.5%. This could go down to as low as 3 or 4, or as high as like 10%, depending on the volume. But we have a decent sizing in here, and you can see like we just set this up a few minutes ago and we've already earned $5, right? So it's like, it may not be as crazy as some of the other ones, but it's just one that I feel more confident in and I like long-term. So I'll set up a decent sizing like this. I set up a decent sizing on something like Sol USDC that may only earn 0.4 or 0.5% a day. And then I like to be a little risky with things like Agent here. I won't necessarily get into this one because it does look like it might still be in a downtrend, but low market cap coins like this, I try to get into and make some quicker amounts as well. So it's kind of a mixed strategy. And that's kind of how I would choose which coins based on market cap. And then as far as range, it depends on where it's at. So like if I was buying into this, which I'm not going to, but if I was, I would basically just draw this out like this. And I would want a range that's going to be, depending on where it's at. Basically, I'd want my range to be, the bottom would be here. Because if it drops below this support, then I'm going to get out of it anyway, because it's showing that it's pushing into a lower downtrend and it might break down way lower, like all the way down to 1.5 million or lower. That's where the next support would be down here. And so, but I would have much more upside because I would want it to break above the all-time high and maybe go up about 20% or so. So maybe I would have a range between 6.5 or 7 mil all the way down to where it's currently at 3 mil, right? Now, ideally, I wouldn't get into it here. I would wait for it to break above this point here. And if it broke above this, then I'd feel a little more confident that it might continue up. Now, I would need to not just break above it like once. I would really want to see it break above, retest, and then come back up. Or if it just has big enough candles that looks like it's going to fly, then I might get back in as well. But that's how I would determine the range. I do it somewhere between the support that I feel most comfortable with, which would be here on this one, and a high that is roughly 20% above, or maybe more. Again, it just kind of depends, but roughly 20% above where it's at. And so you could probably do this with like 100 or probably 100 bin pool. And you would just set it up with like a little bit less on the Sol side and more on the token side. If you wanted to set up this range like that, but that's kind of the idea. Hopefully HawkFi will lower the fee. Yeah, we'll have to see. Why should we use HawkFi? What do they do different than I add on my own? So like, I am in no way saying everyone should use HawkFi. Just know that. Like, I don't think that it's something everyone should use. I'm doing this 50K challenge here because I want to see what it looks like. I talk about compounding. I talk about what it looks like to be consistent and compound over time. And I want people to see that in real time with the price of Sol moving down, with it moving up, with everything that's going on in the market. I want people to see live real action of what that looks like. Obviously, if Sol ends up doing really, really well and just slowly building up over time, then like this pool is going to do really good. But I also want to see what it looks like in real time. Because like we've been up as much as $2,500 on this pool. And right now we're up about 1,000 from where we started, right? And so because Sol went way up, but it also came way back down. And I'll talk about why I've adjusted some of my strategy on this. And so, but in no way am I saying everyone should use this. HawkFi is really, really good to auto compound fees for you. And also help so that instead of having to watch something like multiple times a day, you might only have to look at it once a day or less often, depending on whatever you feel comfortable in. But basically they can auto rebalance, auto compound fees, as well as do stop loss and take profit, right? And so It's a really good system. Like if you want to get into a coin and you're like, hey, I want to do a take profit on this. So where if it goes up in the middle of the night, I'm going to take my profit. You can't do that on Meteora. You would need something like HawkFi to do it. Now they're going to take a percentage of the fees, but it might be worth it. I can't tell you how many times, like, look, ALK right here or ARK, either one of these. Let's look at ARK because it's even more dramatic right now. Is literally last night in the middle of the night. Let's say I would have gotten in yesterday evening around here, right? So maybe around 120 or 115, somewhere up in there, 115 mil. And I was DLMMing it and earning fees, but it came all the way up here. Well, this is like almost a 20% increase, right? If I take my profit here, I'll probably make more than if I just would have DLM'd the whole time all the way down here. Now, if it comes back up, which I think it will, you'll end up earning more. But sometimes people want to de-risk and just want to sell out up here. They're like, yeah, I'll earn fees. I'll sell out up here. You can't do that on a Meteora. You'll wake up the next day, which is what I did, and it was down here. And it's like, well, dang, I missed the pump, right? And so that's where HawkFi could be good. It could be good to try to take profit, or even in the reverse, if you got in and it goes down too far and you're like, hey, like I want to DLM this overnight, but I'm afraid it might go down. If it does, I want to make sure I get out before my losses get too big. You could do a stop loss as well on HawkFi, right? So, and you do that, you just come here to your pool and you click configure and you come up here, you can do auto compound, auto rebalance, take profit, stop loss, which I can go over more a little bit later. But ultimately, they do take a fee, which they don't on Meteor. But if you're someone who, is going to be actively on your pool and doing things, then you may not need HawkFi. It's for people that, for specific scenarios, like I said, for stop loss, take profit, or for people who want to be a little more passive with their earnings and have them take care of some of the automation for you. If you do use them, I have 2 different referrals. I'll go ahead and post this referral today, which is different from one that I've posted in the past. And if you do use them, then please use my code. Obviously, I'd appreciate it a lot. There's the code. I just posted it. And if you don't use it, hey, that's totally fine. I'm not recommending you use it. I'm just saying that it does have some benefits that you could use. So yeah. Great question, though. Let's see here. Is there a coin Pingu already? It is pumping right now. Unless it dropped randomly recently, but I do not think that the Pingu coin is out. Let me double check, though. Agent came back up, so that's a good sign. So look, this is what I said. I wanted to see it come back up above this line, and then I wanted to see it come back down and retest and start to come back up, showing that it's in a upward trend. One thing that does concern me with it doing this is that the volume has dropped off. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing because it was doing some pretty crazy volume. And the 5-minute is still at 500K, which is still really, really good. And so basically, the volume is one metric, but I also want to look at what the chart's doing. And so even with the volume dipping down, the chart's still looking fairly healthy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait to see if this starts to break back up. And as soon as it comes back above this high here, then I might get back into it. So we'll continue to watch Agent and see what it does. We're also still in ALK. We're in a 2-sided pool. And so we'll keep watching that. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of ARK. It does look like ARK has broken back up, which is good, and it could continue to still do good. But I'm gonna get out of it just so that I'm not bogging up my screen too much here. We're gonna keep watching Agent. Let's see where we were at. Is there a coin Pingu? Yeah, I mentioned that. I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a bunch of fake Pingu coins, but unless they've announced it, which I don't think they have, I doubt that it's already dropped. Yeah, I don't think it's dropped yet. Would you do a 1 sold, 100 sold DLMM challenge? Is such a jump possible? Yes, it is possible. It would take a little while, but yes. I'm currently doing a challenge that started off really, really bad, but I am currently doing a challenge that I'll be updating people on in just a little bit. But I am doing a challenge to try to get to 100K from 2K. So I'll tell you all more about that a little bit later. Good volume on CAT with Binance announcement. So I saw the thing about CAT with the Binance announcement. Oh, wait, I just have one here. But I thought that I didn't think CAT was on Solana. I don't know why. I thought it was on. Is this the one you're talking about? Cool. Yeah, it shot up. Yeah. I think you can see the volume picked up and then it died down a lot. So not one that I would DLMM if that's the coin you're talking about. Could you check the chart, Mom, Museum of Meat? Yeah, I saw Mom earlier. I think that it's died down some. I don't feel super confident in Mom, but we'll look it up and see. We're also still watching Agent here to see what it does. Obviously, if you've been DLMMing it here and you got in at a good price, this would be very, very good. As far as fees, because it's going up and down a lot, still doing good volume. Let's take a look at Mom real quick. Oh, Mom looks really good still. So the volume on Mom is good. It's not amazing, but it's good. And the chart looks really, really healthy. It does look like it's in a decent dip now. So I would look for it to kind of stabilize here and break back up. Or it might just rip back up. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's got pretty good volume. It's nothing crazy, but I mean, it looks like a really good chart, especially for DLMMing. Let's go ahead and buy just a little bit of Mom. I'm going to test it out and we'll see kind of what it does here. Oh, wait, do I not have the SOL that it says I have? Oh, we're going to do a lot less SOL. Let's just do like this. I forgot that I had put a bunch in ALK. We'll do this for now. And we'll set up a pool for Mom. Looks like some people already have some. I'm going to do the 100 bin 2%. Because it's not moving crazy fast, so I don't need to do a higher bin. And then also if you do like the 5% one, you're probably not going to get as much action as the 2% pool because there's not a lot of there's not enough volume for people to feel like they need to pay the 5% on. So I think the 2% is going to do good here. We're getting in right at the bottom of the range here. Now, normally I would maybe wait on this. Because I'd want it to come bounce off of this level and start to come back up. Basically, I'd buy in around where I just did, but I'd wait for it to be in an uptrend, not in a downtrend. But it showed just like really, really steady growth over time. And so once it's in this little dip, I'm like, let me just go ahead and get in here. Again, it doesn't seem to be moving super fast. Obviously, it could dump out of nowhere. But as you can see, it hasn't shown that yet. It's a coin that I already looked into earlier as far as the Twitter and everything, and I liked it overall. So I'm not doing that again here, but that would be something that I would normally do before getting into a coin like this. Still watching Agent, but it does look like the volume's dying down and overall it's moving down. So we would need to see it come back up above here to feel confident to get back into it. And then we're doing our long-term DLM of ALK, which is just kind of chilling right now around the just above the 100 million market cap point as well. Let's take some questions. Do I use Metlex? Yeah, of course I do. I use Metlex. I use it here. I use it to determine my P&L whenever I'm using Meteora, and I want to know if I made or lost money or just how much money I made or lost. You could also do it to check your overall fees. There's different pools that you can use and stuff like that to be able to figure out kind of what pools are doing well. So yes, I do use it. I'm not using it right now, but overall, yes, you can use it. Yeah, so we set up a two-sided pool there for Mom. I think I might set up another two-sided pool on my other wallet. Let's see here. Had my wife text me, so I had to check that out. I'm just going to do a small sizing on these. It's moving pretty decent, but let's see if what else. Oh, it does look like. Oh, no, not yet. I was looking at Mom thinking that it was Agent. I want to see what else we have. You have Charlie, we have Arc, Retardio, Pog, Jail. Jail's got a lot of volume. It's been a little too like volatile for me, and it's seen some pretty low lows. So I'm trying not to mess with that too much. But some of these, yeah, I think Mom is is one of the better ones right now to get into it. As far as like low caps, it's just been such like a stable climb here, which is really good for DLMMing. With it potentially having some sideways ranging in between it moving up. And so that's a good sign. You can see I bought some and sold some here, made a little money earlier. But yeah, I'm going to set up another pool on my other wallet. Oh yeah, I also have some alchemy in my other wallet that I need to set up that I haven't done yet. Let me go do that. And then I'll take some more questions. Hope y'all are doing right. All right, today we now have over 700 people watching. Thanks so much for being here. I do stream Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday of every single week, and sometimes on Friday as well. So we appreciate y'all being here and checking us out. We are doing a giveaway today, which we'll be doing in just a little bit, maybe 20 minutes. And so if y'all stick around, we'll be doing that. You do need to engage with the tweet. Let me show y'all which one it is. This one right here. So you need to engage with it. You also need to type in Let's Bonk. We're supporting a different project every single day leading up to Christmas. And so we want to do that to support the project. We want to do it to do some giveaways as well. And so I really love Bonk. Their original like massive meme coin airdrop that really did a lot for the community. And so obviously it's a great meme. It's been around a long time. Wanted to support them. Also, they're doing a Bonkmas thing where if you type in comment Let's Bonk, every time they do, they burn 1,000 Bonk, which will be done on Christmas. And so wanted to try to help get this up. So you'll need to engage in the post as well as comment Let's Bonk. And I'll be choosing a winner live on this stream in about 20 minutes. And so just make sure you engage with this and you comment and do Let's Bonk, because if you don't do this, then you won't win. That will be one of the criteria that you have to do. We are watching Agent come back up even with the volume dying down. So that could be a good sign. So we'll have to see what that looks like. Mom is continuing to sit sideways. Let me go ahead and set up this mom pool on my other wallet. The 100 bin 2% pool. And we're just doing a 50-50 spot just like we did on here. And you can see right now we're earning 48%, which is actually really, really good considering that it's staying like fairly tight in the range here. And so that's a really good sign. I do like that. 47, 46% is really, really good. Now it is a lower market cap coin, but it honestly is looking like a higher market cap coin. So we'll see. But oh, I had trouble buying on my other wallet for some reason there. Let's see. All right, now we're going to buy some. And I'll take some more questions in just a minute. I also get a lot of questions around just like general DLMMing, and I am creating a guide. It does take some time to do it because I'm doing it in a video format. So I'm going to have a thread that I put out on X, and there'll be a video for each of the different points that I make around kind of some basic DLMM stuff, as well as some advanced stuff and finding coins and all the stuff that we go over here. And I normally answer questions on. I want to be able to redirect people so that I'm not answering the same question over and over again. I want to be able to redirect people back there for people to see it. So it does look like mom's pushing up, so that's good. We did just open up. We're opening up a pool right now on my other wallet as well. I want to buy more, Mom. I only bought a little bit from here. So what we're going to do is anytime that your liquidity is kind of capped and you're like, I'm not really sure what to do, I'm going to come in and you can see here that I have a lot of ALK, and I did set up a two-sided pool. But I do feel like on the there's more room for the higher side. So I'm going to come withdraw here. I'm just going to withdraw SOL. And I'm going to withdraw 50% of the SOL that I have in this two-sided pool. Now that means that as ALK goes down, I won't earn as many fees as when it's moving up. But I really like Mom right now, and I do need the liquidity. So this is kind of my way of trying to find a middle ground to do this. And so, yeah. We're going to remove that. We're then going to come over here, and we're going to buy... I guess I'll buy 6. Let's refresh this and see how much SOL we have. Yeah, we'll buy 6 more SOL worth of Mom token. Actually, we're going to do 8 more SOL. Swap that. Make sure we get a decent price for it. Does look like mom took a little dip there, so that's good. Buy up some more there, and we'll come over here to our mom pool. And we're pretty close to center here. 100 bin is still fairly tight, so that is one thing to consider. I'll probably just close this pool and reopen a new one. It looks like our 24-hour fee did move up to almost 100%. And so for a coin, this is a low market cap coin, but it's staying fairly stable and has really good range. So this is actually the kind of chart I look for and expect in like a mid to large cap coin. So we're kind of getting the upside of higher fees and the upside of a lower cap coin while still, while being on a lower cap. So, but we'll have to see how it does. We're going to continue to watch it. We're going to add in all the mom that we have now and the sol for a little bit of a larger position here. And we're in the 100 bin 2%. So just know, like, if mom ends up moving to like 6 mil, we'll probably push out of range. And so I'm kind of considering that it's going to end up staying sideways and then just moving up slowly and taking advantage of the fees as it goes up compared to like a coin that would pump really fast. And so, yeah, we would love for it to range here just like this. But ultimately, if it does that and it like slowly comes up like we've seen it do here, then that would also be really good. Still watching agent, but I do feel like the volume on it is just dying down too much. And we're seeing that in the price structure here. And so, yeah, I would be weary of agent. I don't expect it to pick back up. It could, but I don't expect it to. So we do have the mom pool set up now. So now we're at 5,000 instead of like 1,600. And so we'll see how the fees go. We'll see this fluctuate for a little while, but I'm curious to see what it ends up averaging out at. Yeah, the volume's looking really, really good. So we're also on ALK. Draw some lines here. ALK seeing a little green action. And I want to check back into what Solana's doing. Solana has moved up a little bit. So that's a good sign. I would love to see it just continue to move just like this, slowly up, back into the 220s. I think if we see that, then we'll see a lot of meme coins start to move back up. You can see agent is dying off here. So we'll just go ahead and stop watching it because I'm not getting into this coin and I don't recommend anyone else do as well. We got Memga, another coin moving up. So we'll watch, see what this one does. Let me check Discord and see if anybody else has posted about any of these other coins. Yeah, I haven't seen anything too crazy yet, so we'll continue to watch. Memga is doing some crazy volume, but I'm not sure what it is. It does have some risk. The top 10 holders do hold a lot. Let's see if there's a reason for that. We'll check Twitter. If not, then we just won't be interested in it at all. 271 followers, no activity on Twitter, so we're going to say this is a no-go. So very quickly, I see volume. I see it's pushing out a lot. I look at it. Then I check Twitter. I look at the audit. Didn't look good. 2 red flags is enough for me to say, hey, I'm not interested in that. So we'll keep watching to see if something else does well, as well as Mom, which seems to be doing pretty well right now. I'm really liking Mom, giving me about 90% return. Let's see what this is. Yeah, this one says around 72. Mother wallet's showing 85. But either way, those are really, really good returns. If I sit on it all day and our $5,000, we end up making, an extra 3,000 because this sits between 60 and 70%, I would be very happy with that. So we'll keep watching it. Let me answer some questions. How do you choose between different pools? You look at the TVL, the bin fee. How do you decide? Hey, we're up to 850 people watching between Twitter and YouTube. Thank y'all so much for being here. I do stream Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and sometimes on Friday. If you end up using Hawkfly or any of the other stuff that I'm using, I appreciate if you use my referral. If not, totally cool. I don't ever recommend you doing anything specific that I'm doing. I don't expect you to copy trade me. Everything that I do is for entertainment and education purposes only. I hope to help you learn and grow just as I am also, and we can do it together. So thanks for being here. How do I choose between different pools? Basically, when I'm looking at a pool, and I'm trying to decide between the TVL, the bin fee, and all that kind of stuff, The lower market cap a coin is, the higher bins you want. The higher market cap a coin is, the lower bins you want. Now that's a general thing, but if you can see here, like most of the really popular Solana USDC pools are like anywhere between 1 bin all the way up to 80, right? My favorite is the 20 bin, 0.2%, because of it being the widest range I can get while still earning like a pretty good solid fee structure. Like you could go to 1 bin, right, and earn 0.88%, but that's 1 bin step. Like that's very, very, very tight range. And so I like the 20 bin step for that reason. But also you want to look at like how much TVL and how much volume it's putting out and how much it's earning. And so you need to kind of balance between these to determine whether you want to do it. Now, this is Sol USDC. If you go to like other coins, you can see like Fartcoin here has a 200 bin step, 100 bin step, right? So you can see on average, the bin step's a little higher on this. And then if you go even lower, like in ARC, you can see as similarly like anywhere between 20 and 200 bin step. And then if you were to go to like a brand new coin or one that's a little bit lower, you'll see much more like 100, 200. Sometimes you'll see 250, 400 bin step that are more popular. And so the lower the market cap, the higher bin you need, because there's more room for the coin to grow, or for it to be, you need more room for it to go up or down, right? Because it moving 20% is much different on a large cap coin compared to a small cap coin. So that's one thing. You want to look at the volume and look at how much fees are earning. Sometimes there's just certain pools that meet the sweet spot as far as what the bin step is and what the fee structure is. And so that's the gist of it. I would have to go into it deeper, but that's kind of the gist. When a current pool is outdated or above the 5% fee, what do? Make a new one or move on? So you can make a new one, but you could also, let's go to this one. For example, I just found one that I think will have that separation that you're talking about so I can show people. So when you enter into a pool, you need to make sure the price is accurate. And so you can see here when this pool was created or exited out of, the price of sold to Apple was here, but now the price to sold to Apple is here. And so there's a difference. And so if I just were to add liquidity into here, it'll tell me, hey, like there's a 5% difference between the two. Be careful because you could lose money to an arbitrage trade. Basically, people see that you've entered in at a price that is either less expensive or more expensive than what it should be. And they'll either buy or sell into your pool to make the difference, and they'll make money off of it. And so what you can do is you can either go make a new pool, you could refresh this pool, or if you just sit here and wait, it'll usually pop a little button up here that says sync with Jupiter price. Now it'll only do that if there's no money in the pool. If there's money in the pool, then you just need to refresh it until someone else who has money in there gets arbitraged, which if it's a little amount, it's not a big deal. But if they do, then it'll auto adjust itself back. But if you're in a new pool, or sorry, an old pool like this, let's say you really want to use 160 bin step 0.8%, you can't create another 160 bin 0.8%. Only one pool can be created at a time. And then right here, you can see you just sit here for about a minute, and then you would just click sync with Jupiter price. I don't know if, I think it just costs like a transaction fee. Yeah, 0.008 Sol, you confirm, and then the price will sync back up. And so that's how you would do that. Polar says HawkFi is great for overnight or long-term DLMMs. I agree. The code for HawkFi didn't show up here. Oh, on Twitter. Yeah, I forget that it does that. It'll show up on YouTube if I post it, but it won't necessarily show up on Twitter. Let me post it on Twitter. HawkFi code. There we go. What about Mom? We're looking at it now. It's doing well. Cat is on Sol, picked up just a bit. Yes, volume dropped, migrated to Sol. How do you see if volume slows down? You just look at it like this. And so you can see here on the 5 minute, the 1 hour, like the 5 minute on Mom right now is 50K. The 1 hour is at 890, 900K-ish, right? And so you can see the 1 minute is around 20K. And so basically you would just look at this. And then like, let's say the 5 minutes at 60K right now. And I watch it, and over time it moves down to 50 to 40 to 30 to 20, and you would see it drop. And then you're like, okay, but you can also see it visually down here at the bottom. These bars that you see are the buys and the sells, but this shows you volume, right? So you can see there's less volume here and more volume up here. So the taller these are, the more volume. So you can see that the volume on Mom is dipping just a little bit. I mean, nothing crazy, but it is going down a little bit. And so we'll watch Mom as well to see, but it's normal for volume to dip and go up, right? So you can see here, like it was way up here, then it dipped down. It had a little spike here, little spikes there, big spike here, kind of chilled, little spikes there, then big ones right here, and then it's kind of dying down. But if it dies down a little bit, like that's not a big deal, especially if the chart still looks good. It's a combination of the data of looking at the volume dying down and watching the chart kind of move away, especially on newer coins like Agent that we were looking at. They're just the candles on this are much smaller, right? This is a much more steady buying and selling that's happening. Where on Agent, they were like these giant thick candles, large buys, large sells, lots of buys, lots of sells. And so when the volume starts dying on that, it's gonna start affecting it more than if there's a little bit of a trickle off on a coin like this or even a coin like ALK, right? So that's something to think about depending on the coin you're looking at and kind of what the chart looks like. But all the data points I talk about, there's not one that's like, this is the data point you need to look at that's like the go-to one. You need to mix in all of them. You need to look at Twitter. You need to look at volume. You need to look at market cap. You need to look at also the name. Like, is the ticker good? Like, is the ticker one that you think will run? Is the ticker one that you think people will like? Is the tech good? Is the interactions good? Are people talking about it? You know, like there's a bunch of different stuff that all add up to whether a coin's going to do well or not. And I kind of use all those data points to determine that. You can see it on where your charts or you check charts. Yeah. We print and thank you. Is that volume per hour? Yeah. So you can look at 5 minute, you can look at 1 hour. When I'm looking at the trending here, I'm looking at the 5 minute volume, but you can look at the 1 hour. You can see Agent is still just doing okay, not doing great. But that Minga coin I told y'all about that I looked at, it did end up rugging. So, you know, just looking at that kind of stuff's important. I look at the 5 minute volume when I'm looking for stuff that's kind of new and pumping. I'm gonna open up PNet because it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna check it out in just a moment. Hope they don't burn the entire supply. Let's bonk. Yeah, not the entire supply. They have a lot of supply though, and obviously the more they burn, the more bullish it is for people that hold it. Can you still DLMM Mom? Yeah, Mom's in a great spot to get into right now. I think anywhere around the 3.7 to 4.2 million is a great time to get in. It's kind of the middle of this range here, so I think that it could be good. Obviously, you need to do your own research and determine whether you think that's a good idea based on what you're doing. I can't tell you, yes, do this, no, don't. I can just tell you my opinion. Analysis on grass. Are you using Edge always? You can see I'm using Edge. Edge just has some updated features on Meteora when they come out with stuff for testing. Sometimes Edge works better. Sometimes App works better. I move between the two of them, just kind of depending. So I haven't looked at grass in a while. I think the volume on grass is probably too low, but I could be wrong. Let's take a look. Maybe it's picked back up recently. Yeah, I mean, it looks like grass is like overall as a token. I mean, the chart looks great as far as like its movement and stuff. It's mostly up. Like it came down a little bit today, which is pretty normal. It looks like the volume's a little lower on it today than it has been in the past few days. You can see the 24-hour volume is actually pretty good. The 1 hour is okay. 5 minutes okay. It's very choppy though. There's no 1 minute volume. But looking at the 1 or 24-hour volume, this could be a good long-term play. I don't know what the competition looks like on grass, but this could be a really stable kind of long-term play to do over time. Grass, I mean, it looks good, and it does a lot of sideways action. I would either wait for it to dip a little bit more or show that it's going to come back a little stronger before getting into it. But overall, I think grass looks solid. I like the tech and the team and stuff, so. Just use your HawkFi code. Thanks for all the help. When creating a pool, is there suggested pool amounts? Hey, Loves, I can't get anybody any suggested pool amounts. I would say that, but with the way the auto rebalance and auto compounding of fees works, you want to have it at over $100 as a bare minimum for it to work well on there. But other than that, I would say just whatever you feel comfortable with using. So I do appreciate using my code. But yeah, whatever you feel comfortable with using as far as the sizing and the amount and stuff like that. Can you look at ARK's chart? Yes, ARK had pulled back up some. We are watching Sol still start to move up slowly, which is a really good sign. That's what I was hoping to see. I would love for it to continue to do this and move back up into the 20s. If so, I think we'll see a lot of coins like ALK and like ARK and some of these bigger ones, Graphane, some of those to continue to move up. ARK took a bigger dip than some of them. And so I would expect it to have a big pullback as well, which you can see it did here. It pulled back, which is a good sign here, came down. I say pullback. It's got some fight back to it. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't get into ARK right this moment. You could, but I would maybe look for it to move up a little bit more if you're wanting to do somewhat of a swing trade, which is honestly kind of what I did with ALK here when it came down here. You can see it's starting to move up similar to ARK. You can see the 1 hour volume on ARK is 1.9 million. The 1 hour on ALK is only 600K. And so ARK does have a lot of volume right now. Most of it was right here, and it is lesser now. If you look at the 5 minute, it's got 88K. On the 5 minute, ALK's got 47K. So right now we're seeing more volume, and they're around the same market cap. And so ARK will earn you more fees right now. I just really, really like the ALK team and what they do, which is, again, I look at the chart, I look at the numbers, but ultimately I have to kind of have a feel for what I think of it. And ALK is one that I like long-term, slightly better than ARK, but I do think ARK's really good. And as far as DLMMing, the fees and stuff like that do look pretty solid as well. Edge is a testing feature where you can sync the price to avoid arbitrage. Yep. My bad. Thank you. Hey, no problem, man. You feel free to ask the questions, bro. You're good. HawkFi won't auto rebalance if the deposit is less than 100. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. It's good to have it like that. We are over 900 viewers. Thank y'all so much for being here. We will be doing the giveaway in about 10 minutes or 14 minutes. I'm going to try to do it around that time. If there's any questions I missed, feel free to ask them again. I know sometimes it doesn't pop up correctly. Cerberus Crypto. I normally use Deck Screener. Any reason to use Good Morning, Good Night AI instead? If you only use Good Morning and Good Night for the charts all by itself, I'll show you why it's better, and that's because it's faster. And so I can actually show you that live. We'll pull this up here. And we'll pull up Mom. And we'll look at Mom here. And we'll pull it up. And so we'll look at them side by side here. Mom. Oops, that's the wrong one. There it is. Can y'all, let's see. Can y'all see the, y'all can't see these, can you? So I'm not sure why you can't see them there. Let me see if I move this out. Here, we'll have to do this, I think. For some reason, whenever I try to pull those up, they're not showing them whenever I put them on the side-by-side. And so I'm just going to go back and forth between them, and then you'll be able to see it like that also. But you can see here that on Good Morning, Good Night, you can see that the price of Mom is at 0.003972. It had a little bit of a dip there. And if I come over here, it still hasn't done it yet. And so just wait just a moment, and you'll see this move back down red just slightly. Boom, right there. And so you can see that there's actually a delay. And so I could do this all day where I just come over here. I look at what it does. So you can see there it moved down a little bit more to the 0.0389. It still hasn't done that over here. And then watch, it's going to move down just a tiny bit more. And as soon as it does, I'll be able to tell you, but it's roughly like 15 to 30 seconds behind. And there it goes. Boom, it dumped a little bit. And so you can see that it's actually behind, which is why if you just use Good Morning, Good Night for the chart itself, that's good. They also have a built-in bot where you can buy over here. And so you could be watching stuff like this and then buy it just like Photon and things like that. And so I really like it. The layout is really, really good. Personally, I enjoy it. And so, yeah, that's the main reason. If you end up using it, I'd appreciate if you would use my code. I'll post it on both the YouTube and on Twitter if you use it. If you don't, hey, that's no problem. You need to decide whether you like it and whether it's makes sense for you to use it. I'm not saying you should use it. I'm just saying that's why I use it. And if you do, I'd appreciate it if you supported me in that way. Loves. Yeah, I'll talk about my HawkFi in just a minute. But I did withdraw and do a redo on the balance, and I'll tell you why in just a little bit. Oh, y'all asked a bunch of questions since then, huh? Yeah, I'll show you my HawkFi stuff. I had a few questions on that. Agent is pumping. Good for it. We'll watch it. Is it okay to ask your insight about me price? Will it dump more? I'm completely out of Magic Eden. I don't know if it's going to pump more or not. But it's not one that I feel super confident in over the long term. I just got some hiccups. I forgot to drink the rest of my coffee. And so for me, Could Magic Eden go up a lot? It could. Could it continue to die down? Yes. I find when you see a bunch of really big influencers posting about buying a token that is way down or has gone down a lot, like Magic Eden, many times they're trying to pump their own bags and they're not actually buying more. They're just talking about it, especially when you see it like amongst a bunch of the big accounts and they're all like frantically talking about Magic Eden and how they're buying at the bottom and they think it's going to do well. I noticed that usually when that happens, the token just goes down. Or if it does come back a little bit, it will end up coming back down. And I don't know why. That's just a trend that I've seen. You would think that that wouldn't be the case, but I've seen that over time with many of the large accounts that I watch. And so, yeah, I'm not too sure why. But I don't think that it's going to go up or do well over time. Could it? Yes. Could it go all the way back up to $6 or $7 or $8 or $9? Yes. I expected it to do that early on, but now after watching everything, seeing the quests, seeing the staking, all the different stuff, I don't expect that. Also, all the people that staked their Magic Eden in the staking process, when most of the people who staked it, it's already gone down in value a pretty large amount. And so all the people who didn't claim their Magic Eden, that's all going to be dropped to all the people that's staking. And I think all those people are going to sell it to try to make some of the money back from the loss they took from buying it, staking it, or just holding and staking it and not selling it higher. And so I think as that comes out, we'll definitely see a dip. And so I see the price going down first. Now, at some point, if the price ends up coming down to like $2 or something or a little lower, then I think maybe then I can reanalyze it and see, and it might come back up. But overall, that's how I feel. I think it goes down in the immediate more. Exit liquidity 101. Yeah, exactly, AZ. All right, cool. Let's do this. I'm going to talk about HawkFi, and then we're going to do the giveaway. Agent did bounce off the line that I had just drawn here to see if it was going to break back up. I'm going to get out of it just for now because I don't have a ton of time to continue going over all these. I want to make sure that I do the giveaway, and I want to make sure that I go over HawkFi. You can see here, PNet actually shows the devs so just sold right here just now, which is cool. Watching something like Good Morning, Good Night, it'll actually show you where the dev buys and sells. Again, if you're looking at like Deck Screener or Bird Eye or some of the other ones, it won't necessarily show that. Also, like all the information around the audit, the top 10, the whether it's, whether they think it's a rug or not, or any of that kind of information. You can look at the votes, all that kind of good stuff. And so overall, just really like the information and how it's laid out on Good Morning, Good Night. I'm not going to be buying PNet, but I did want to look at it. We'll continue to watch ALK, which obviously we bought down here and has moved up, which is really nice. And then the other one is Mom, which I guess I had moved off of and I didn't realize. Let's see where Mom's at. Mom's dipped down a little bit since we got into it. Oh, took a big sell there, which is okay. Again, we like Mom overall, but if Mom ends up dipping too much, then it doesn't matter how much we like it. We will get out of it. And so you can see it's bouncing off of this here. Big buys coming in, so that's a good sign. We're going to keep holding. Honestly, I can hold it all the way down into here, which is around the 2.9 mil range based on the range that we have set up. And so I would let it come all the way down here and then see if it's going to break through. If it does look like it drops below here, I would sell. But honestly, the way that it's been moving, it seems like it's got a lot of people really like it. And so I don't expect it to fall a ton more. You can already see that red candle's already bought back up. So that's really, really good to see. Good time to get in if you haven't already right here. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. It could continue to trend down, but we'll just keep watching it and see. I like Mom. All right, over to HawkFi. All right, so I've been promoting HawkFi. I've been promoting it, but I've also been just talking about it in general. I posted on it on Twitter, on X. It's a product that I really like. I think it has different use cases for it. I don't only use HawkFi. I use Meteora just straight up way more than I use HawkFi, but I wanted to try this challenge because on stream, I've showed y'all before, I've gone to the calculator and I've said, okay, based on the returns that you can get, if you can earn 0.5 or you can earn 50% a day, right? Then you compound it over time, and this is what it'll look like after a year, basically showing you the power of consistency and compounding. And so I wanted to basically say, all right, I've talked about it. I've shown you the calculator. Now let me show you what it actually looks like to just do it, right? And so I did this 50K challenge, right? So you can see here, the 50K is now at 51,175. You can see that on the fees, you can see I've earned a little bit over $100 today. Now, a lot of that is because I rebalanced it today. And so normally you'll see like $200 or $300 or $400 in fees. But in this instance, that's not the case because I rebalanced it, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But if it's currently sitting at 0.4%, it moves between like 0.4 and 0.8, just depending on the market. Right now, it's a little slower. But even if I do it at 0.1%, and let's say I want to do this for 3 months, and I compound every single day and daily reinvest it, which is what's currently happening on HawkFi, my 50K in 3 months at 0.4% should end up being, oh, it's doing it by the day. Let me do it by the month. It should end up being 71,615. Now, if I'm able to earn more than that, great. But also if you look at the compounding, let's say over like 6 months instead of 3 months, the compounding starts to increase a lot. And you can see the 50K would be 100K. So you can 2X in 6 months at this 0.4%, whether you have 2,000, whether you have 50,000, no matter what it is, you can do that. And so we're just looking at it. I don't know if I'll keep it for 6 months or not. I might shift up my strategy. Maybe in a week or two, I'll end up saying, all right, I'm just going to do this with 25K and grow it. And I want a little more money to be a little more aggressive. We'll see. But this is just what we're doing right now. And so I had talked about configuring it to auto rebalance over time. Now, the problem with that, I've actually messaged the HawkFi team to ask them some questions around it. But the problem with that is that if the price of Solana drops too quickly or goes up too fast, you'll end up taking more in permanent loss than you normally will. And the reason that is because what happens is the pool, if it drops out of range, HawkFi checks it every hour. But let's say the last time I bought Solana was at 206, right? But then an hour later, or let's say it's 30 minutes later, depending on how it falls, but let's say it's 30 minutes later, the price of Sol is no longer 206, but it's actually dropped even lower. Let's say it's at 200. Well, now what happens is when the pool rebalances, it auto rebalances, I'll have to sell some of my Solana to buy back USDC to rebalance it, right? Well, the problem with that is now the Sol that I bought was last bought at 206, but I'm selling it at 200 to buy back USDC. So even if the price comes all the way back up to 206 or even higher, I'll still be in a deeper loss than if I rebalanced it while it was still in range because of the gap of the 206 to the 200. And so this is a flaw, not necessarily in HawkFi. It's just the reality of where it's at. Once they do the event-based, so you can see here the auto rebalance, you can click here and they have an event-based one that says soon. This, I think, will end up making it way better. As of right now, I've actually turned off the auto rebalance. And that's because some of this balance right here should be higher. I've probably lost about $1,000, maybe a little bit more in total because of this action. And it actually can happen on the upside as well. But Sol dipped. I got into this and started doing this challenge and Sol was moving up, which is really good. But then after moving up, it heavily moved down. Another thing is that I had a tighter range. So instead of using the default 69 bins, I had it set at like 58 bins or something like that. And so it's a 20 bin 0.2%, but I had the range even tighter because I told myself, hey, I can earn more fees daily. And because it's going to auto rebalance, I don't need to worry the fact that it's a tighter range because it's just going to auto rebalance. But that actually ended up hurting me. And so because it was a tighter range, it actually took an even bigger impermanent loss when it went to rebalance and the price of Sol was moving down too quickly. And so what I decided that I was going to do for this challenge is I'm still leaving it in HawkFi because the ability for it to auto compound the fees every hour is really powerful, especially with this large amount of money. So instead of like the daily compounder is considering that I compound daily, right? But what about me compounding 10 or 15 times a day, which is what would happen with this, or maybe it's less, maybe it's only like 5 or 6 times a day. Either way, I can compound even faster and earn even more. So I really still like HawkFi and the fact that it does that, but I'm going to manually balance the pool. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to close out of the pool and I'm going to have to remake it when I do that. And so I'll just look at the asset amounts and I'll just put them back exactly as they, the total that they would be. The total balance, will be the same. Obviously, I'll have to adjust the asset amounts, but I'll make sure to rebalance it back the exact same place that it is. So the all-time fees won't show all of it together, which is a little bit of a sad thing. But I have to set this up because I don't want that to keep happening and it hurt. It's $1,000 lesson, maybe a little bit more, which is not great. But ultimately, hey, that's okay. We'll work on it and learn and grow from there. So that's why we're doing it now. Now in the future, again, once they update this, they have this rebalance button here. And so I won't have to close out of the pool. You see how it says soon when I go over it? I'll just be able to click rebalance and it'll rebalance it and I can still see my fees. So that will be what I end up doing probably. I'll just have it rebalance it like this instead of me manually closing and opening. But for now, I'm going to be watching Solana. And if Solana, the way I'm going to do it, because again, I don't want to worry about the missing out if it goes below or above. If this pool ever gets down to $210 on this side, I'm going to rebalance it. Or if it ever gets up to $232 on this side, I'm going to rebalance it. So basically, I'm just going to rebalance anytime it's within that kind of $4 away, right? And so let's see. So I would end up rebalancing it about right here. So once it's moved up from the middle, roughly 80%, 80, 90% on either side, I'm just going to manually rebalance it. And so that's why I removed it. That's why I did that. And we'll just keep watching it and see where it goes from there. Still holding mom. Mom has dipped down, but it does look to be bouncing off of here. So that's a good sign. There's also another little small support. I forgot that one. That's right here. And so there's that one and the one below it. But yeah, if you have any other questions about HawkFi, please let me know. I did post my code. If you end up using HawkFi, I appreciate if you use it. I actually have 2 accounts. And so I have a code for this one and the other one. Don't feel like you need to change your code because I've posted both of them to split it between the 2. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions on that. Let's see. When HawkFi does an auto rebalance, will it claim the fees? Yes, it does. Will you show us your settings? I just did. Auto compound is always on. Yeah, it'll default be on. And you can go to configure down at the bottom here to turn it on. QQ when rebalancing Sol USDC pools, would it be smarter or cheaper to swap rebalance via Kamina swap 0% fees instead of Jupe? Jupe is also 0% fees. Both Kamina swap and Jupe are 0% fees. And then, but you still have to pay a fee for the pool that it's going through. Do you recommend a stop loss if you go to sleep? If you're for Sol USDC, I'm not too worried about it. But you could, yeah, you could set up a stop loss. Honestly, you could set it up to close out. If it goes down to like the 210 or something like that, you could set it up to do that. And what I probably will end up doing is before I go to bed, I'll just rebalance it. So like whether it's on the high side or the low side, it doesn't matter. Just before I go to bed, I'm just going to rebalance it. And that way it's going to have to move a lot to do that. Now you could set a stop loss or take profit as well. How often does HawkFi auto compound? So when you go to configure here, it'll actually tell you. You can click on this, and so it says every hour it checks. And if you have unclaimed fees and rewards that are above 0.02 Sol and your position balance is above $100, then it will compound. If it's not, then it'll skip it and it'll check it again in another hour and then do it. And so just depending on how much money you have in it, it may only do it every few hours or even once a day. With the amount that I have in it, it'll pretty much do it every single hour. Correct. I'm muted on Discord. You have to watch here on Twitter or YouTube to be able to hear my voice. Hey, we're up to 1,100 people watching. Thanks y'all so much for being here. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We talk live. We talk about DLMMing live. We also talk about the market and the state of things going on. We look at different coins and analyze them. Just talk all things crypto. And so if you're interested in checking us out, we appreciate you being here. We are doing a 10 days of Christmas leading up to Christmas Day. I wanted to do a giveaway because we did a giveaway last week with Magic Eden. Things have been going really well financially with how well we're doing with the pools and everything. And honestly, around Christmas time, I just realized the impact that even $100 can make on someone's life in another country. And so I said, hey, let's do this. If y'all see my pinned tweet on my Twitter, I went to a Central American country and did a huge giveaway with a bunch of people from my church. And we gave away presents and we did shoes and we did food and stuff. And so I love giving back. I love being a part of that. I honestly believe that the more I give back, that the more that God will bless me. Now, I don't necessarily mean that I think that it's like an exact ratio, but I do believe that there is something to that. And so I just love to give back. And so that's what I want to do. I also wanted to highlight different projects. And so like Bonk is one that I got a big airdrop on back in the day. It's one that a lot of other people have been impacted by. They're doing bonk miss, where if you do hashtag let's bonk, they're going to burn a bunch of bonk every time someone does that. So I said, hey, let's partner. Let's do that. Let's try to make it to where we can burn as much as we can and have people enter into a giveaway at the same time. So we are about to do this. If you have not already, you need to come engage with this post. You also need to comment let's bonk, hashtag let's bonk. And if you do, then we'll be picking 2 different people to win $100 in bonk. So I'll send you the $100 in bonk to the wallet that you tell me. You just need to engage with this tweet here. And we're going to do it in just a few minutes. We're going to give people a chance to enter into that. But yeah. Do you know of timing on HawkFi airdrop? I don't. I mean, both Meteora and HawkFi, I imagine, will be late Q1, maybe mid Q1 of 2025. That's just my guess. There's nothing that's come out about that. They haven't told me anything. I don't know. But I'd imagine with the way things have been going that they will probably end up announcing when it is, probably in January. They are talking about adding the fee structure. So obviously they're going to want to make some money off all the fees from Meteora. I think they have enough volume and everything now that it'll be good. So we'll have to see what that looks like. But I imagine it'll be late Q1, but could be later. So we'll have to see. Either way, I'm going to keep grinding and farming it and go from there. So again, if you haven't already, you can just come engage with this tweet here. We'll be doing one every single day leading up to Christmas. Now, I won't be live streaming every single day like tomorrow. And so this giveaway, you need to be live. There will be other giveaways where you need to be on the live stream to do it. Some of the giveaways you won't. Some of them I'll just do and I'll just pick people and I'll just send it to them. And so those people will just win and I'll just message you on Twitter. In this instance, you will need to be live on here. With the launch of Pingu, I think I will be going live, Lucas. It just depends. So some kind of interesting information. I'll go ahead and do this. Remember, you can go engage with this if you want to enter into to win the giveaway. And so this is a post from Binance. They posted to talk about both the Simon's Cat token and Pingu being listed on Binance and their Binance hodlers getting the airdrops for them. In this, they talk about it being listed on Binance tomorrow, which is Tuesday the 17th at 14 UTC, which is 9 a.m. EST, which would be tomorrow morning. And so this is when it will be listed. Now, normally a token does not launch and is not immediately listed. Normally they give it anywhere as short as 4, but usually like 12 hours, sometimes even days before they will actually do it. And so when I saw this, I thought, well, maybe they're going to drop it today, which if you saw in my post earlier about Pingu that I made, I speculated that it would happen today, but they said tomorrow. Now, one thing to consider is we're literally on a global scale. So today, tomorrow, what does that mean? Now, whenever we come down here, we can see they talk about the circulating supply and things like that, which says the circulating supply, oh, wait, that's a cat of Pingu is going to end up being 70%. I was speculating it might be 30 to 40%. But upon listing on Binance, it's going to be around 70% of the supply. So this is actually pretty massive. This is going to be a lot of the supply out there, which may end up doing well, but it also may mean that there's going to be a lot of price discovery, which means the price is going to drop. But we'll have to look at it. We will be DLMMing it either way because the volume is going to be insane. And then you can see here, research report. Now, I don't know like what research report means, considering this is literally an article put out by Binance themselves. But it says Pudgy Penguins Pingu will be available within 12 hours of publishing this announcement. Now, this announcement was published this morning, roughly 5 hours ago. And so, again, this is just speculation, but it's off the information they gave. If this is released within 12 hours and it was posted it says that it'll be available within 12 hours of this post, and this post was 6 hours ago, then I would imagine that this would be that it could be launching today within the next 6 hours. Now, I don't know that that's the case, but that would make sense considering they said that they're going to be listing it on Binance at 9 a.m. tomorrow EST, which 9 a.m. tomorrow EST would be roughly 24 hours. Less than 24 hours from now. It would end up being about 21 and a half hours from now would be when the Binance listing happens. And so kind of looking at the time frame of a new coin like this dropping like Magic Eden and how long it took for Binance to list them, it was roughly 10 to 12 hours later. And so if they launch in 6 hours from now, roughly 14 hours after that would be 9 a.m. my time tomorrow. And so anyway, I know that's a lot of time frames, but I I guess what I'm trying to say is that it could launch today. It could launch today my time, which would be in the next 6 to 12 hours. Now, I don't know if that's the case, but if it does, then I may or may not be live streaming it, depending on what's going on, because I do have other stuff that I'll be doing. Dracon, yeah, I'm not going to focus on that token. I appreciate you asking me about it, but we don't have time to check it right now. So anyway, so I'm excited. We'll see. I might live stream it. I might not. But either way, I'd be on the lookout for Pingu to launch because it's going to feel like somewhat of a stealth launch, I feel like. And so because of that, there may be, it may be an opportunity for people to DLMM because people don't know when it is. That's actually a good thing for the people that catch it because there's more opportunity to make money because a lot of people won't be aware of it yet. So we'll have to see. It will be interesting because there will be a lot of people that aren't aware of it that have it in their wallet sitting as well. So we may not see as much sell action right away, but over time, we'll have to see what that looks like. Anyway, there's some alpha, just speculation, obviously. Alk's still doing good. Mom starting to fight back off that bounce. Love to see it. See what kind of fees we're earning here. And then we'll do the giveaway, and then we're going to hop off after that. Yeah, we're earning almost 100% on Mom right now, which is really good. Look at that. We have $5,000 in here, and we've already earned 120, 130, almost $140 right there. So that's really good. Cool. Last chance. You need to engage on this tweet right here, and you need to comment "Let's Bonk." Every comment that you do is going to burn. Every Let's Bonk comment you do is going to burn 1,000 bonks. That's pretty cool. I also own some bonk. I picked some up just recently. I think that leading up to Christmas with the big burn, people are going to talk about it more. The value of it could go up over time. So we'll have to see. All right, let's see. We need to go to X Picker. This one. We're going to copy this tweet. Again, this is your last chance to engage with it. You also, you need to be following me as well, and you'll need to be on the stream. All right, so if you replied to the tweet, then I will pick you. So you can't just like it. You also have to have commented on it or replied to it. That's what we're going to do here. We're going to pick 2 winners, and you have to be following me, and you have to be on the stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick this, and then you'll need to jump into the comments and say, hey, I'm here. I will message you directly on here. So don't need anybody messaging me. If you message me, then it won't matter. I'm going to be taking the exact tag off of here and putting it on Twitter and doing it that way. So we'll be picking somebody. This is your last chance. We'll pick in 5 seconds for you to engage on this tweet. And 3, 2, 1. Good luck, everybody. It's going to start picking now. All right, we have LCAT official, and we have CoinTilt. We'll see if these are real people that are also in the stream. If you are one of these, please let me know. We have Lion Cat official to the moon. This looks like a project. And so obviously this person could win if they're here. If not, we'll move on to another winner. We also have CoinTilt Dev. CoinTilt, I've seen you around. Here you are. Thanks for being here, man. CoinTilt Dev right here. I'm also going to follow you. Thanks for being here. I've seen you interact and engage a lot, so I appreciate that. Awesome. It looks like the other person is not here. Hey, Disintraman, thanks for that. If you bought some bonk, throw it in Camino, multiply 42% APY. Sounds good, man. Cool. So we're going to get rid of this Lion Cat account here. CoinTilt, let me, oops, not post. I'm going to message you. Did it? What am I doing? Message up here. You win $100 in bonk. All right, so we'll go ahead and get out of that one. And then we're going to pick a new winner. All right, here we go. Someone gets another chance. All right, we got ATC Splash. ATC Splash, PRMR, are you here? Following the White Rabbit. If you are here, please post something. And if not, then we'll select a new winner. But you do need to post on here. ATC is an ALK farmer. Looks like you do some trading and stuff like that. Vector.fun. This is definitely a real person. You're here. ATC Splash. That's me. You're me here. I'm Mir. That's me. Yeah, this is cool. I like your account, man. It looks nice. I'm gonna follow you. And I will message you also. Congratulations to the 2 winners. Hey, if you did not win, I'm sorry that you did not win, but you have a better chance of winning on here than winning the lottery. There's only 240 people that replied. We will have another giveaway tomorrow. We'll be highlighting a new project, and we'll go from there. So yeah, you don't see it on here because he is on YouTube. So I see the comments from both YouTube and Twitter, but he posted from YouTube. That's me. So he is here. He's just watching on YouTube. So no, he is here. So I'll be doing another giveaway tomorrow, and I'll post about it and let y'all know. From here, we'll be highlighting another project, and we'll go from there. So yeah, I'm going to take a look back at Mom. Mom looks like it did rip back up here and is taking a little bit of a dip. Would love to see it continue to start to move up. Overall, it's in some sideways price action, which is really, really good for us. You can see we're at 102%. So right around the 100% is where it seems to be chilling, earning really, really nice fees. Whenever I'm earning a good amount like this, I'll just come in and manually claim these. I'm not going to do it right this moment, but I'll do it shortly. I come in and claim these, and I just re-add them back into the pool, especially when it's near the middle of the range is a good time to do that, because obviously adding in $150 into this already will continue to compound what I'm earning over time. Whereas if they just sit here, then I'm not earning anything off of the fees. I'm just earning off the current balance. And so that's always a good idea. We're also watching ALK, which we've been holding, which is doing really well. Let me come over here to ALK and show y'all it's moved up. It's gotten a little sideways here, but after it pulled back, which makes sense because, again, when we talked about Solana, we talked about it slowly moving up, which is a really, really good sign. It's all the way up to 220 again. And so I'd love to see it continue to move up and then continue in some sideways action between 220 and 230. This is a good sign for the coins overall. We did watch Bitcoin today. It's hitting some all-time highs right now. It's at 107,000. And so I do think that we see Sol continue to push up here. If it moves too aggressively, then again, we'll end up rebalancing our HawkFi pool. Again, if you decide to use HawkFi, please use my code. I would appreciate it. I posted it in here earlier. You could also check in and just DM me or something, and I can give it to you there. And then if you use good morning and good night, please use my code as well. Obviously, anytime you're buying stuff off the actual bot, I'll get referral back from that. And so I appreciate it if you use it. Even if you don't, just use the charts. The charts are super accurate, super cool. It's a good site overall. Thank y'all so much for being here. We actually just hit 1,300 viewers between YouTube and Twitter. Thank y'all so much for coming and watching. I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then sometimes Friday. So we'll not be streaming tomorrow, but I will be doing the giveaway. So if you want, just make sure you interact with that. You might want to turn your notifications on to be able to see whenever it pops up, and I'll be choosing it later on tomorrow. Again, thank y'all so much for watching. We love being able to give back and do these. I appreciate y'all engaging with all of my stuff and learning with me along the way. If you do have further questions, feel free to reach out. You can also join the Fee Printers Discord. You can do that. Let me post on Twitter. You can join the Fee Printers Discord. You can just go to their Twitter here, and the link to Discord is right here. You don't need to go through my link. And so if you do join them, it's a free Discord. They do have an NFT, but it's not gated. It's all free content. We talk about what coins we're interested in. We talk about strategies. We look at getting in and out, stuff like that. Overall, just a really good Discord, good community to be in. The most active DLMMing kind of DeFi Discord that you can be in right now. We have calls every single day, even when I'm not live streaming. And so if you're interested, go check those out as well. It's a great, great place to learn and to grow together. So thank y'all so much again for being here. I am going to hop off, and I hope that y'all have a great day.